Hello and welcome back, mathletes. So it's same shirt color. That means it's same day, but tomorrow's lesson, which is cool because for me, that means I'm actually caught up and almost a day ahead. Yay, go me. Um, anyway, more important things. So today we're going to talk about subtracting integers. That means we're going to be subtracting negative numbers, and we all know that negative means opposite. So we could very quickly wind up saying the opposite of the opposite and getting a little confused. So stick with me. This is really simple, and we're going to make it simple, but we have to take a roundabout path to get there, okay? So first things first, we need to understand a word. Additive inverse. And we talked about this in our other video just a little bit. I want to double check on it. If I take -3 and add a +3, what do I get? I get a 0. Okay. If I took a -20 and I added a +20, what do I have? Well, that's 0. Those numbers are additive inverses. Okay? They are the opposite. This is very important. So that's an additive inverse. Now let's take a look at a way that we can use the additive inverse. If I had the problem 15 minus 5, well, I can draw this out on the number line, and I have my point 15, and I'm going to subtract 5, so that means I'm going to go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots. I'm going to find myself sitting on the 10. So 15 minus 5 is 10. Now, I want to ask the question, what if I added the additive inverse? 15 plus a -5. Well, let's take another look at this. I draw my number line, and I go out to 15. And now I want to add a -5. So because of the addition, I want to go to the right. But because this says opposite, I'm going to go to the left. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the left. And I wind up at 10. So instead of subtracting, it is possible to add the additive inverse or add the opposite, and I can come up with the exact same answer. Interesting rule. Let's write this down and see what happens. To subtract an integer, we want to add the opposite. Okay, let's try this. 12 minus a -7. I want to change it to addition because I have rules for addition. We saw those. They were in there. I'm not going to joke around by saying I can put a link up here because I don't know how to put a link up there. I'll maybe put a link down here in the comments to the other video. We'll see how that works. Anyway, 12, I want to change it to addition, plus the opposite. What's the opposite of -7? It's +7. So what's the answer? 12 plus 7 is 19. And let's try it out. So I'm just going to draw my line, and I'm going to put 12 here. Because I want to subtract, I'm going to go to the left. Oops, I put my 12 in the wrong spot. Because I'm subtracting, I would want to go to the left. But remember, that negative sign says I'm going to do the opposite, so I need to go to the right 7 spots, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. So there we can see that doing the opposite addition actually brought us there. Okay, now let's look at this next one. This next one's a little bit more confusing. -9 minus a +4. So let's rewrite this. -9, that stays the same. That will remain a -9. I now want to add a -4 because I want to change this. This is subtraction, so I'm going to change it to addition. This was a +4. I'm now making it a -4, so I'm now adding the opposite. Well, we have rules for when they're the same size, same sign, don't we? When they're the same sign, we add the absolute value and keep it. So 9 plus 4, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, 13. And then I keep the sign. Both of them are negative. So it's -13. Okay, if you need to draw out the model so you can see that, feel free to do that, because you can start at -9, and we know that subtraction means we go to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that would put us at what? -13. All right, let's try example 7. This is where we're going to have some fun. So we're going to keep the first symbol, -15. Now I'm going to add the opposite. So my minus turns into a plus. The opposite of -3 is a +3. Well, I have rules for addition. These are different signs. Because they are different signs, I'm going to subtract. So the absolute value of -15 is 15. Minus 3 is 12. Now, what kind of integer is it? Is it a positive integer or a negative integer? Well, my rule says I keep the sign with the greater absolute value, and that's -15. So this would be a negative. I'm not going to draw out the number line, but if you would like to draw out the number line for this or use counters, please feel free. I think we've beat it dead, though. Let's try our last one. 7 minus 10. Pause the video. Try it on your own. Did you pause it? I bet you didn't pause it. I bet if we're in class watching this, I didn't even pause it because I don't know. All right, so let's try it. 7 minus 10. We're going to rewrite it 7 plus a -10. Okay, 7 plus a -10. So that means I'm going to use my rules for two different signs. So I'm going to subtract the absolute value. Start at 10, go down to 7, or take away 7. That leaves me with 10 minus 7 is, use the fingers, and 3. All right, 3. And now what sign do I use? Well, I keep the sign of the larger absolute value. So is +7 or -10 have the larger absolute value? 10 has the larger absolute value, so it's going to be a negative. And I'm going to do the negative sign right there. If you don't believe me, draw a number line. Start at 7. Go to the left 10 times. And tell me what you wind up on. Other than that, don't forget, like, subscribe, comment if you have questions. Hit me up on Remind. Other than that, I'll see you in class.